Welcome everybody, Monday night, 8:30 to our amazing team call and joint team call. We're going to jump right in here with the respective time for our mentor, our leader, Dave MacArthur, who's just, changed so many lives, continues to do so, has a massive, massive team of, what is Dave, a few 100,000 people that are on your team?
308,000.
308,000 people. And Dave has been promoting and starting people off when we came on board with Isogenesis. And look, it just goes to show what simplicity and duplication can do. We're getting back to basics. Dave has breathed a breath of fresh air into all of us, igniting us with this Forever Pack. I'm not going to take too much time up. I just want to turn the floor over to someone that we love deeply, him and his wife, and many of you feel the same way for what he's done. He's going to show us now behind the scenes of the Forever Pack, the business side of this that I'm super excited to learn about. So Dave, I'm going to let you take it away, my friend, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, you guys. I want to honor your guys' time as well. I really value this kind of time. Let me share my screen here, and we are recording, right?
We are.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show two things that I want to share two things that on tonight. And then right after this, we're doing a Zoom. Lenny and I are doing a Zoom every Monday on the Forever Pack. It's a presentation, like if you were coming to the presentation. So every Monday night. So in 1 hour, we're going to be doing that. I am getting a lot of phone calls and texts and messages from top leaders in Isogenics. And one really, really top leader today I did a Zoom with somebody on their team who just, I can tell the struggles that they're having, not for themselves personally, but for their team. And it is about building a team and then helping them to support them to their dream. That's how we get our own dream, right? Is helping to support other people with their dreams. And a lot of people are having a hard time with the current approach. And I'm actually surprised at how fast this Forever Pack has caught on. I've been doing it for 7 years, and now it's just taking off. Like the video on foreverpack.com has had over 500 views in the last 2 days. It's going really fast. So, and I can understand why. The thing that I always wondered is, why aren't people doing it the way I'm doing it? It's so easy. Like, I literally own my life. I don't coach on products. I literally I own my life. I'm like the Maytag repairman. I'm just looking for things to do every day. And that's no stretch of the imagination. That's literally how my day is. And as I hear and the struggles and the amount of time that's going into product coaching, I could relate to that back when I used to share the bigger packs. So I can understand now, here we are so many years into this, and the packs have just gotten bigger and bigger, which means there's going to be even more of these challenges that come along with that. And I just think the timing right now and how long people have been pursuing this course has caused this thing to take off like a wildfire right now. There's a lot of burnt out people. So if you're feeling alone in that, do not feel alone, even when it comes to top income earners. So what I want to do is just kind of share the philosophy and the principles behind why I've done what I've done. So some of you have seen this, but it's going to be a refresher course for you. Some of you may not have seen it. We'll go the value pack versus 100 BV. And when I say versus, it's not like the value, there's nothing wrong. There's no principles being broken with the value pack. It is the Costco mentality. The more you buy, the cheaper it is, right? So product and dollar amount, people are getting a huge discount when they do a value pack. That can't be argued, all right? But there are other challenges that are inherent when you're wanting to build a business. So let me just start out with this here. The lure of network marketing is that you can make money while you're sleeping. They call it beach money, right? And that means people can own their lives because they have money coming in, they can still pay their bills, and they don't have to work for it. So anywhere from $0 up to a 6-figure, even a 7-figure income. And then we'll go years over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the amount of time that's being put in, and this is the amount of money you're making. So again, the lure of network marketing is the more money you're making, the less you have to work for it. There's not very much time that needs to be put in. I would say in network marketing, that doesn't hold true in most companies. They're not designed that way to really work that way. It's how they pull people in, but they don't really work that way. Isagenix does. Like the more money you make, the less you have to work, because all you need is 100 BEV, and there's no blocking, no breakaways, nothing. You get paid to infinity on everybody that comes in. So once you're a consultant, we became the number 13 income earners in the company as a consultant. People don't know that. I've never maintained executive status. I've never been paid bonuses on executive. It's always been cycle pay. All right. And that's how I learned when I got in. There wasn't any bonuses when I got in back in 2005. So the principle that needs to happen for this income to go up, this is not like chance. It's not coincidence. You're either living the principles and obeying them, or you're not. And it's duplication and it's leverage. That's what Robert Kiyosaki teaches. That's how you become wealthy in the top 5%. Now there's another cool part of Isagenix and networking is residual. You have the auto shifts. And Isagenix pays you on all of that. Every time product is resent out to somebody, you're going to get paid the same 6%. All right, so let's take the Forever Pack with the 100 BV, and it's $159. It's 108 BV, and it's 1 shake a day, and it's Isa-G, 4 pills a day. It used to be called Product B, now it's called Isa-G, Isagenesis. So 1 shake a day and Isagenesis. I asked a brand new person that I was interviewing. I kind of do this in the interview process too, showing people what are their dreams? What's their freedom day look like? What would it take to finance their freedom day? And then I go through cycles, and then I end up showing them this down here and how they can have their freedom day, right? And we'll get to that in a sec. That's the second part that I want to show is how do you get, customers to develop into business partners. So I asked a brand new person, I did this in a training with all associates, and I've also done it with this brand new person. The brand new person, I said, what's the pros about a Forever Pack? You saw the video, we've got you enrolled. What is it that you really like about the simplicity of the Forever Pack? What's the pros? She said, well, it is simple. It's affordable. Looks like it'll produce results. It looks like you got results in that presentation I saw. So she just said results. She didn't explain why. She just said it'll get results. And then she said duplicate. And I'm thinking in my mind, oh, this person knows network marketing. She said duplicate. So right off the bat, those are the things she said. It's simple, it's affordable, it's easy. So simple and easy, there's two different mindsets going on there. It was simple to understand, but it's easy to take the product. So when she said simple and easy, I said, well, what do you mean by that? And that's what it came out to. So I really like separating those two, simple and easy. The products are easy to take. All right, so now, if we say that about the value pack, I'm not going to go into the pros of
oh yeah, it froze.
try and get a hold of them on Wednesday and they go on a protection program. All of a sudden, you can't get a hold of them. They're not answering your texts. They're not returning your phone calls. And it's because they're kind of freaking out about what showed up at their door. They were really highly motivated, like people are in the beginning of the new year, January, to lose weight. But then they've kind of lost that motivation. They're overwhelmed. And think about a value pack or an ultimate pack. Oh my gosh, what shows up? How do I even get started on this? I got to wrap my head around this. What did I get myself into? Am I really wanting to do that? So they're going through all of this mental processing. Finally, you get a hold of them, and they're like, okay, yeah, I think I'm ready to get started, but I think I'm going to do it after vacation. or I think I'm going to do it after the holidays, or there's always something, you know, it's a holiday over in the Middle East, or who knows? I don't know. There's something that's come up where they're going to have an excuse not to start right now. That happens a lot. So then by the time they get started, you're already 2 to 3 weeks since they ordered it, and their auto ship's going to ship out in like a week. And they just barely started on their pack. And those of you that have been around for any certain amount of time knows what the next phone call is that's coming, if you didn't warn them about the auto ship. Hey, I just got shipped this stuff, and you know, it's not a good phone call, you guys. It's damage control because the auto ship went out. Even though you told them about it, they forgot about it. They don't want it. They can't afford that right now, and they still have a bunch of product left over. So the auto ship goes off typically before they've even started. And it's really hard to get somebody, you're really concerned about that question about auto ship when you're signing them up, right? It's always an issue with these bigger packs. All right, so it's complicated. It's expensive. You're talking anywhere from at least $600 with the value pack. If 2 people are going to do it, it's $1,200. Now you just taken out 95% of your clientele to do this, which would also eliminate the leverage because they've never even asked for a credit card from somebody before, let alone $600 to $1,200 in something that they probably already feel is too expensive, right? You're just going to take out probably 90 to 95% of your duplication in your business. And then on top of that, let's talk about a cleanse day and how you do a cleanse day. You think they're going to be able to turn around and coach somebody on a cleanse day and what they can do and what they can't do, and then on the other 6 days of the week, here's what you need to eat. Here's the kind of meals you can eat. Here's what kind of snacks I recommend in between the meals. And I'm going to be your life coach, and I'm going to call you 3 days over the next week, right? You guys see the challenges that are inherent in a value pack because of the complexity? It does not duplicate. And this is what the rock stars are finding out, is that the people in their downline who are not like they are not duplicating them. You don't have, it's duplicate or die. You will never get this. Now, the lure of these value packs is the PIB. You do 2 of those and you just made $400 that week. That's a good amount of money from somebody that's never been in sales before. So they're going to learn how to sell and do what they need to do. But now the income, because they're not duplicating and they're not leveraging, the income just kind of stays like it would if you had a job. This would be direct sales. And after 15 years, it's also a mechanic. Thinking about 30 grand a year after 15 years. Just doesn't change. So we've got to have the duplication and the leverage to have this happen. And then if you do it right and you simplify it so that more people do it, this could be a 7-figure income. Pass up your dreams, your freedom day, right? So Carrie and I, in our first 6 years, hit $1 million. Over the next 5, let's see, it was 13 years total. At 13 years, 10 million. Right? So what are we doing that's right? We've always kept it simple. And we've always taught the cycles, 100 BV. I mean, yeah, if you want to go for all the money, go for it. You could get some of the bonuses. You can get the manager bonus. You can get the director bonus with 100 BV. We just had somebody whose auto ship was turned off, you guys, in Amanda Lunt's downline. She went back to, and this is how she approached everybody that had their auto ships turned off that she personally enrolled in. She enrolled about 200 people in 3 years. And she wasn't even cycling maybe 5 times a week at that. So she was living off of the PIBs. And she went back to everybody she personally enrolled and said, hey, how would you like to, what's the word she used? How would you like to
revisit
Isogenics with me? Thank you. How would you like to revisit? I've learned some things. There's some science that I think will blow your mind. I think you'll really appreciate it. It's simpler and it's easier. And there's a lot of people that loved Isogenics. Their paradigm sucked them out of it. They couldn't create that kind of lifestyle change. That was a quantum leap lifestyle change for them. But they had a fairly good experience or a great experience on the products. They just quit. They don't know why they quit. They just quit. So people are open to that. Hey, how would you like to revisit Isogenics? There's some new things that I've learned. It's simpler. It's easier. And there's a new science that I didn't even know about. I think it'll blow your mind. Would you be open to watching a 22-minute video? Like the best case scenario would be like their auto ship comes back on, they start using the products and they don't turn the auto ship off. It's better than that. We just had somebody go Crystal Manager. Crystal Manager who had their auto ship turned off and they were gone. Now, not only did they go Crystal Manager, somebody came to a meeting that I did and they're now enrolling people. They have duplication in their downline, 1, 2, 3, about 3 or 4 generations away from them, the person that had the auto ship turned on. She just enrolled somebody today with the help of Amanda. So there's already duplication happening in this person's downline that had his auto ship turned off. You guys, are you getting the picture here? It's simple. It's simple.
What?
All right, so.
Lemire wins in Deadwood.
Somebody's unmuted there. Here's the thing. You have a dealership, and then I'm going to finish up with this, and then we'll go into the interview. You have the front end, and you have the back end. This is at a car dealership. I worked at dealerships for a long time. The front end is the salesman. And you go in, you know what car you want to buy, you've fallen in love with it, you've kind of taken an ownership with it in your mind, right? And you say, I can't pay more than $220 a month. That's going to be my payment. And you go in, you haggle with the salesman. It's always a debate, right? And you walk out of there, $230. That's what you're going to end up paying. And you sign the deal. He says, here's your keys. Congratulations. You're now the owner of this car. We'll get you into the finance office here to close the paperwork up as soon as we can. You know, it might be a couple hours. Just go enjoy your car. Go drive it around if you want to go get something to eat, come back, whatever. So the person's taking ownership of the car. You guys, dealerships do not make their money when they sell cars. Sometimes they do. Most of the time, they don't. This is where they make all their money, on the back end. The finance guy. They're going to sell undercoating, paint garden, and extended warranty. And 9 times out of 10, they sell 1 to 3 of those things. 1 or all 3. And you walk out of there with a $275 payment that you would have never have paid right here. No way. You would have walked if the salesman said it's going to be $275 a month. Isogenics made the front end the back end. The Forever Pack keeps the back end on the back end with the auto ship. The BV always goes up on the back end. If they're having a great product experience, when they have a great product experience, they build an ISA pantry. I had to weigh that out in my mind. What if they didn't? Would I be okay with that? And the answer was yes, because I was losing people who I did change their lives and save their lives. And 2 months later, they weren't ordering anymore, 3 months later. And it's like I'd never showed up in their life. Where if they had stayed on this for the rest of their lives, would I be okay with that and nothing else? And the answer was yes. I decided I would be okay with that. But I knew that that wasn't going to be the case. There would be a percentage of people that would order more products. It blew my mind how much faster and how much BV they added on the back end, all on their own with no product coaching. They're learning about the cleanse. They're cleansing on their own. All of a sudden, I go to their house and they have an ISA pantry, right? So do you guys see the difference here in the back end versus the front end and what's going on and the challenges that we have? Again, the value pack, we're not breaking any principles here. We're not ripping anybody off. But when it comes to building a residual passive income, you want more people duplicating and leveraging. And the less training, the less product coaching, the less expensive that is, the better. 100 BV to be set free. So any questions on this point right here? Any ahas? Does this make sense to you guys? I just want to open it up for a second before I go into what like the interview process is.
I've got something. Hey, Dave, it's Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Yeah, I've already revisited this with people, and since talking to people, 3 people have enrolled, and then 2 of them already are sharing with friends, because it's just so non-threatening. I think is the biggest. Yeah, so I'm psyched about it.
Yeah, I've gotten so many. I mean, I wish, again, like with the results that I see from the Forever Pack, Isogenesis, and the Shake, I wish you guys could see all those results that I've seen over the years. It's a game changer for humanity. And the same thing with like what you're just saying, Crystal. I get so many texts from people, not even on my team. And they're like, one of them, I don't remember who it was, but it was like, I just enrolled somebody that has been like mocking me for the last several years. And now they're just enrolled with the Forever Pack. And yeah, people are getting really fired up, really excited. And everything's a mindset game, you guys. Everything is mindset. Whether it's motocross racing, swimming, right, and making team isogenics, it's a mindset. And you take a lot of people out right here. We're asking them to play big salesperson right here. $600 to $1,200, right, and life coach. It's a big mindset. So when you can make it really easy and for somebody to see how their dreams could be made just off of a Forever Pack, $159 a month. I mean, that whole system is cheaper than a Burger King meal a day, right? So I can have my dream. So what we want to do is get this simple system to where people understand the cookie cutter approach. All right. So what I would do on like somebody just gets enrolled and I'm doing an interview with them to find out where they're at, and really just kind of leading them along, holding the carrot out to show them that this is a gift that we've given them, not just for their health, but for everything about their life could dramatically, improve. So I would recommend that you have people watch, and this can happen at any part. This little interview could happen at any part of the process. So let me pull up this chart right here. You've got your connecting with people. You've got, sharing your passion, finding out what 2 things would be at the top of their list that they'd want to improve with their health. You talk about that. You connect with them and about their story. Then you're going to share them a little bit of social proof about, what you feel is going to help them with their challenges. And then would you be interested in watching a 22-minute video that I absolutely know will help you with a solution, right? And then take them to the leader. The leader could be brought in at any point here, any place along this. Could be happening when you're talking to them. It could be happening before they watch the video. It could happen after they watch the video. It could happen before they're enrolled. It could happen after they're enrolled. At some point, though, you want to introduce them to that third party. And the third party's role is to open up a bigger view and give more social proof, but also open up a bigger view of what's available for this person, this gift that just came into their lap, all right? So I would recommend when they're ready to, this could be during that interview this could be through any part, because you're going to have talked to the person and find their interest, but you want them to also have watched this compensation plan side. And there's ways to lead people into this rather than just showing them the product and then saying, are you ready to do the business? It doesn't have to be like that, right? You can set it up by saying, look, you're going to get awesome results from this. And because this is a results-driven product, I mean, people are going to ask you what you're doing. So when they ask you, are you okay with sharing with them how you got these results? I've never had anybody say no. Nobody's ever said no. Now, how I frame up the rest of it, people have said no and people have said yes. If you frame it up right, 90% of the time they're going to say, yes, I'll watch the video. And that is, okay, great. Well, people appreciate being able to get their products paid for. I build this as a business. Would you mind referring them to me and I'll help you answer their questions? Would you mind sending them to the same video that you saw? And we can get your products paid for. It's that simple. Would you be okay with that? Sure. Now, whether they do it or not, you're going to have to wait and find out. That's part of the business and working through the numbers. But you do that with everybody, you guys. You don't make that decision for them. I've always shown people what it means to become consultant. So when they watch this video, they're going to see what it means to become consultant right here as it gets to that point of the video. And then they're going to see the Don Phelan numbers, these right here. And when they see the amounts that could be made behind these numbers, if they're the right person, they're going to get excited about that. I've had people cheer at the end of meetings. And so I want to share with you kind of how I go through. And so they could have watched this before. Hopefully they have before you have this interview. And then what you're going to do in the interview is just going to get with the person. So let's say I'm interviewing Josh, and I say, Josh, how long have you been in Isogenics now? Or no, what I would say is, hey, Josh, it's great to be introduced to you. And he would have introduced me as that third-party person, like a three-way call. But we're doing, it could be a three-way call. It could be a Zoom. I like people to see what I'm writing down. So if you could figure out some way for them to see what you're writing down here. If it's a Zoom, you could have a whiteboard behind you. If you have an iPad, I just have my iPad wired to my computer and I'm using QuickTime. So that's how you see my iPad on here. And I like doing it this way because I'm very visual, and I think a lot of people are as well, and they can see the overall picture when it's all done. But there's about 4 different points that I want to make in this interview to help this person see that they have something more than they realize that they had, and they get pretty excited. So Josh, are you unmuted? I can play your role, or I can just have you play that role.
I'm unmuted. Yep.
Okay. So Josh, you've been in for about a week, right?
I have.
Okay, and have you got your products yet?
I just got them yesterday. I'm super excited.
Okay, I'm so excited for you to get started on them. So what I want to do is just ask you some questions and kind of see what your goals are, and then we can be on the same page, and then we'll know how to support you more effectively. Does that sound all right?
It's great.
Okay, so I'll just ask you a few questions. So you've been in for 1 week. As far as the products go, what are you hoping to see with the product results?
I need to get some energy. My nutrition isn't great. It's just, I need to start simple and to get on something that I can stay on.
So you want to be proactive with your health, getting the right nutrition, the right density of nutrition into your body on a daily basis?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's familiar with doing like some kind of nutritional shake, right? I mean, have you ever bought the juicer and you started juicing your fruits and veggies?
I have one right down in the corner there over that never gets touched.
Yeah, right. It collects dust now, right? Yeah, I did the same thing. That's what I really love about our shakes is that they're so nutritionally dense, and you will feel the energy and just that overall wellness and being proactive with your health. So I'm excited for you to experience that. And then with the isogenesis, I mean, that stuff is the foundation of our health, our DNA, right? So we're going to have DNA support, which is a game changer. So I'm excited. What did you think about the presentation when you saw that, learning about telomeres?
Oh, so I knew nothing about them. Makes so much sense. So much sense.
Yeah, do you think there's other people out there that would appreciate knowing that information?
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so obscure. I started thinking about people right away. So if there are people that you think about, write their names down. All right. So with the products, you know, they're really results driven. You're going to feel better. You're going to look different, and people are going to notice. And if you're like me, you're going to be very grateful for the results that you are having, and gratitude always wants to share. So with people noticing and how you're feeling, we could get your products paid for really easily. Is that something that you'd be interested in?
Definitely. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put this down as a first goal, get products paid for. So let's say that, I don't know, you and your spouse are doing it. So let's say that's $300 a month. Is that cool? That sound good?
Yeah. I love that.
All right. So now I want to ask you a question. You know, I really like to get people dreaming, and because a lot of people have given up on their dreams, and I've gotten every one of my dreams answered through this company. Like, they financed my dreams. It's been so awesome. If you could have a freedom day where you can do what you want, when you want, for as long as you want, like you could fire your job and you are independently free, how much income would you need to be having coming in every month? So I just like to kind of get this out there. Freedom day. What would that take for you?
Oh, man. I would say 175,000.
175K a year. Okay. All right. So we get paid in something called a cycle, and it's $54. That's a commission that we get when people order products. And because they're residual, like because the products are consumable, the company just keeps paying us that every time somebody reorders them. So there's something called a cycle, and it pays $54, right? So in order to get your products paid for, man, a cycle, we get paid weekly. So what would that be? 54, I got to do the math. I wasn't very good at math. I had my football coach for math. 300 divided by 54. So that's like 5 cycles a month. Okay, so if we went, let's see, 5 times 54, it's 270. So we'll go 6 cycles a month. 6 times 54, that's $324. You can have money left over to go out to eat.
Awesome.
That's, what did I say, 6 cycles. That is really easy to do in Isogenics. It's just a matter of sharing, you know, getting people to watch the video and getting them started on it. So that's super simple. You did it. I did it. So 6 cycles a week, or 6 cycles a month is what we'll shoot for. And then right here at the 175,000, we have people who are doing that in our company. People that have literally got a freedom day coming from all kinds of backgrounds. So the way that works You guys, then I would just show what I showed you guys, okay? 0, 6 figures, and just go through showing them, you know, how leverage and duplication works. And they should have watched the video, right? So I'm going to say, did you watch that video? If not, then I'm going to show them. I'm going to actually pull up for them and show them this right here. What it is to get to consultant. I showed everybody what it was to get to consultant, and I showed the power of 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I just let them internalize that. However the cards fall on that, you guys, the cards fall. I am not attached to that. But I know that in building my business, it is essential the amount of people that I show this. Do you guys get that? It is absolutely essential that I get good at showing this. And that's how Don Fela built 3 different companies of over 100,000 associates. He showed those numbers right there. This is Don Fela. Jimmy Smith learned from Don Fela. I learned from Jimmy Smith. All right, so we show the Forever Pack and the 100 BV and what could happen for them. Then we say, look, all we need to do is follow this simple system. And you could say, you know, you're going to have a conversation. So I feel like I'm kind of struggling a little bit here because it's not an actual conversation. It's so smooth as I do it with people in real life. But I would say all you got to do is get people to the video. So start making a list of people that you could think of that eat and that are aging. Do you know anybody? You know anybody that's eating and anybody that's aging? That's literally your list. Now, the more health challenges they're having, the more they'll appreciate the video. So what I want you to do is start making a list of people. Is there anybody that you can think of just off the top of your head, like your parents or somebody that's struggling with their memory or anything like that?
Yeah, I know quite a few people. Sure, I'd love to get my parents on this.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just, and then you would just work with this person at that point on how to send a text or how to send them to the website, how to frame up, you know, sending a text to somebody. I'm not going to take the time to do that right here. All of that's the same as it's always been sharing a pack. But we're just sending them to a simpler system, right? So the Forever Pack, where they're going to, or foreverpack.com, where they're going to watch this video. And Angel enrolled somebody while we were doing a Zoom. We were doing a Zoom training. They contacted her from Facebook while the Zoom started, and she enrolled them before the Zoom was over. They watched the video and everything, you guys. So it really is that simple. Again, you got to go through the numbers. So what I would show people is this. Let me find it right here. Again, when you're building a business, you're the CEO, and it's all mindset. You're going to have to be inspiring people. So yes, as a CEO, you have to learn some skills, right? You have to behave like a CEO, which means you're going to learn your job. You're going to learn your craft. So this is one of the things that I think is very powerful that's worked. So as I share the power of 2, 3, 4, and 5 and what it means to be consultant, then I show this. And I talk about Tracy. She was a single mom. She was going to take her own life. She had lost her health, and she was in dire straits, just not balanced. And somebody shared the products with her. She got her health back. It woke her up, and she became very grateful. And she saw the opportunity that this was going to present for her to dig out of this financial hole. But the biggest thing was her results that she got that was driving her. So in 2 years, she had about 1,000 conversations, she said. And these are real numbers right here. How many did she enroll? 90. Now, this was not with the Forever Pack. The Forever Pack is much easier, right? So 90 people. How many people joined her business? 5. We will have much higher percentages with the Forever Pack with this, okay? So out of those 5 people, what was her top month that she made? What did Isagenix pay her? $126,000 in 1 month. How many people on her team? 18,000. Because Isagenix pays you on everybody. We're not seeing all the numbers. This is who she brought in, but who did they bring in? And who did her team that was above her bring in? Isagenix pays you on all of that. That's how she got this number. So my personal numbers, and you guys should have these numbers. You should be writing these down, using these numbers so you can share it with people. This is not just for you if you're building a business. This is for you to duplicate. So mine and Carrie's numbers in 10 years, I'm not going to tell you how many conversations I had. That's irrelevant. You're going to have enough conversations to have this, you guys, however many that takes. So if I told you there was a rock in your neighborhood and it had a red sticker under it, and if you found that rock and you turned it over and you saw that red sticker, I'm going to give you $1,000 every week for the rest of your life. And it is absolutely on the block that you live on somewhere. So you're going to have to still pay your bills, so you're still going to have to go to work. But when you get home, are you going to watch TV sitting on the couch? You're going to go out and start turning over rocks, right? No matter how tired you are, because you absolutely know it's out there. So however many conversations, how many rocks it turns over is irrelevant. You're going to turn them over. That's what networkers know. They know this number's there. And when you can show our Isagenix compensation plan very clearly so that people understand it, they know this number's there. It's called a paradigm shift. And they become psychologically unemployable and they can't sleep at night for the first couple nights if you do your job. So we enrolled 150 people. How many people joined our business and did the business? 1. And I actually counted at 10 years. David Wood did this training with a bunch of other leaders. I have their numbers too. I did my numbers. That's where we were at in 10 years. Me and one person was doing the business. Our biggest month with no bonuses, just cycle pay, was $90,000. We've been getting $90,000 or more for the last 7 years, you guys. $90,000 every month, $90,000 every month, $90,000 every month. How many people? It doesn't matter. That's all irrelevant. So let's take Cindy, the home health nurse. In 1 year, she's been in networking for 20 years, never made enough money to retire. She's been a home health nurse for 28 years. How many conversations did she have? Doesn't matter. How many did she enroll in 1 year? 25 people. How much was she making a month? $1,000 a week. She did it with the Forever Pack, you guys. That's how she came in. She retired in less than 2 years. This is Cindy now. She's doing whatever she wants, when she wants, for as long as she wants, in 2 years. Do you guys get this? Simplicity, 100 BV to be set free, and keep it simple and duplicate and show everybody. You're going to inspire people. So if they watch the video, they're going to get to see what I just showed you. And you're going to reiterate that with them as a leader. You could draw it out on here, or you can get these slides from me. You know, I can't remember if I shared this presentation with you, Josh, or, you know, go online and take snapshots of it, you know, with you and have them so you can write it out. That's what I did. I wrote it out, what was in the book, and I put it into a PowerPoint slide. I made that slide. So, again, as you go through this with the person in this interview, really the main points are, what is their dream? And you don't want to push them into a business. You've really got to ask these questions with the right tone, with the right perspective. Don't be attached. You don't have to convince them. You're just sharing with them. You're coming from a place of sharing. And if you only get into their products are being paid for and that's all they want to talk about, great. Explain what leverage is and duplication and our simple system, sending them to a video. All right. And the more you do this, the better you will get. And we have on YouTube the connecting piece. There's part 1 and part 2. On the back side of this, there's the team login, and you can see part 1. If you go to my YouTube channel, I don't have it loaded in the back here yet. There's part 2, where you have some other leaders that are sharing. Laura St. John's on there. The password for this is forever to get in the back. Here's connecting piece part 1. And there's just some other trainings here. Then you have all your applications here. And I like to teach people to get to manager, get that $500 bonus. They'll double their money back. That's another thing too with the value pack. Do you know you're $400 in the hole hitting manager, crystal manager, with 2 people enrolling? When it comes to tax, shipping, and membership, you're $400 in the hole after all of your bonuses. With the Forever Pack, you're ahead of the game. You'll double your money back with the Forever Pack on a manager. So that's the bottom line. I mean, if we're going to look at the bottom line, CPA style. Okay, so I kind of went a little bit fast through this part right here on the interview. I don't feel like I did as good a job as I would have liked to have done. If some of you want to do, I've been doing some of these interviews with people. We just need to record one that, you know, everybody can have access to. When they're done right, it's just clicks and it just moves right along. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I left out here. You want to connect with the person. If they've been in for a while, you could ask them what their product results have been. What's their first goal? What's their second goal? If you're going to go back to associates, I say, okay, look, what's your first stepping stone goal? And then what's your Freedom Day goal? And then I explain to them, you know, you've got to have the leverage, you got to have the duplication, do some training there, and just show them the simple cookie cutter approach. You're just going to send them to the video and follow up. So Josh, again, you know, I feel like I kind of lackluster in this. I'm getting I feel like I'm echoing in my own head right now. I've been doing a lot of these today, and it's just been a long day in a good way.
It was perfect. It was perfect. And even last week, when you explain this, it makes so much sense. I actually have, when you interviewed myself and Lisa, I have it all written out, bulleted, so I can get it to people on here. But I think it was beautiful. I think it's spot on. It's very clear as to the conversation. And like you said, we're not attached to this. It's just giving them the concept and they can do what they want with it. So I think it was perfect. I know Bob has a question on here, Dave, if you got another second.
Yeah.
If I saw your hand go up, Bob, do you have a question?
I had a question.
Okay.
Oh, I just wanted to know, how do you talk about the auto ship? Do you go right into having them put the Forever Pack in their next month auto ship? And do you ever get any, like, if they push back, how do you approach that?
Auto ships aren't an issue with the Forever Pack because, I mean, you're going to be on it forever. They're going to use the products right away rather than being paralyzed and getting started late. They're going to use up their products. And you could even drop, you know what, if you want, you can do 2 shakes a day, but it's set up to do 1 shake a day. If you end up liking the shakes as much as I do, there's some days where you're going to want to do 2 of them. They'll run out of product before the end of the month. And
Okay.
if people have experience on those shakes like I did and a lot of other people did, that's going to become their main source of food. So we're undershooting, right? We're under-delivering on the product here as far as how much we're giving them. Okay. And then that way they're not turning the auto ship off. The auto ship is never an issue. I mean, I'm not going to say never. Maybe if they understand the science and they really watch that, it's really not an issue. It just hasn't been there. I guess we could make it an issue if, you know, but I wouldn't go into this thinking that's an issue, and the cost has never come up either. I mean, again, when I say never, it's so obsolete. You know, in the new presentation, I have this slide here. I'll probably end up re-recording that because it evolves all the time. But, I mean, you look right here. So when we do this comparison, it's under $3 a meal for the shake, right? We know the average person will save about $100 a month if they're eating out and they replace the shake. Replace 2 shakes, you save $200 a month. But let's just add the isogenesis to this daily cost. You're still under $5.50, which is cheaper than the Burger King meal that's killing you, and you're hungry 2 hours later. Nobody balks at the price you got. Well, I'm not going to say again nobody, but I mean, they would have to want to fight and resist and come kicking and screaming to argue that that's too expensive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's all in the setup, you guys, how it's set up and the presentation. If you can literally get them to watch it and not go cook dinner and not be looking at it. They really need to watch it and pay attention and see what's going on with that science. Because in the live presentations, auto ship is not an issue, and neither is the price.
Awesome. Dave, this was perfect. We know you have to jump on that call. I'm going to keep everybody for another minute or two, but this is awesome. I mean, like I said before, this new fresh steam put into us that we're ready to rock and roll with this. So I love it. The simplicity.
Yeah, again, just to reconfirm to you, the simplicity is reigniting people. And we are seeing people's cycles that are starting to climb now. And that duplication, that has never happened. Amanda's never had a manager. And now she has a crystal manager. And that person has already got people in their downline sponsoring and enrolling. So, and that's just not an isolated case. That's happening across the board, you guys. It's so exciting to be seeing this. So thank you, Josh and Lisa. You guys are incredible leaders. I mean, it's just been a blessing in our family's life having you guys. And I know you're a blessing to your team. And I know that, now that you see this and just your guys' leadership ability and your skills and your passion for helping people, I just see this snowballing, you guys. I just see it snowballing, getting bigger and bigger, and Team Dunsky just like rocking it out, and you guys getting platinum and having platinums in your downline. I mean, who wants to be a platinum, you guys? 10 grand a week, right? It's totally like, don't you feel like it's so much more achievable for people now? You still have to work. It's network marketing, but the networking, it takes those. You don't have to coach on product. Just take that out of the picture, not coaching on products. And it's not just coaching on products that you guys were doing. It was putting out the fires and like the damage control with coaching on the product, right? A lot of the time. And just imagine eliminating that. That's what this top earner who I did a Zoom with today, she said, how would that be? And I said, I was wondering why people don't ask me how I'm doing this. And I said, oh, it's because they don't realize that I'm like the Maytag repairman at home. I'm literally doing nothing. I'm finding things to do because there's nobody calling me. And they don't realize that that's how I'm living my life while they're out there on the phone. They have a phone glued to their ear all day, right? So otherwise they would have been calling. But now it's happening. So, all right, Josh, thanks so much.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on your call after this. Really appreciate you and your time.
Okay.
Love you, Dave.
Hey, any follow-up calls, anything you guys want to do too on a more, whatever, just let me know. I'm here to serve.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, bye, guys.
All right, guys. That was incredible. One more minute. Just stay put. Let me just move this screen here. So we are fully engaged in radical duplication and simplicity. So we are not doing our 8:30 calls on a regular basis. Now, what we are doing is moving everybody to the 9:30 call, which Dave is about to get on and start every single Monday night. I mean, we're not going to complicate this anymore. And he's living proof what he's been able to do. And now a lot of the companies doing the very same thing, and it shows. So we're going to urge people to get on the 9:30 call. Once in a while, we'll have a team call at 8:30, but for the most part, get your new people and yourselves and your team onto the 9:30 call every Monday night. There's a lot of other calls during the week, and tap into as many as you want. But we're going to spend our time really focusing. Imagine that verbiage coming out of your mouth regularly. That's what I want to learn. And that's why I'm going to be on those calls. And I listen to Dave over and over again. We listen to the recordings and we draw this out every single time so we can sit with our new people and do those interviews. And I'll tell you, you already know 90% of it. But isn't it great to be able to roll that stuff off your tongue, the things that Dave is saying? And that's why we want people to get on this 9:30 call as well. So he is just awesome. He is our leader. Him and Carrie have been, we wouldn't be here without them. And so grateful and so appreciative of everything that they do. And all of you also. Everybody on here, all of us have the potential to ride this thing out in 2019 and get to a completely different place than we were last year. And it's all been a learning experience. So we're on track. And anything anybody wants to chat about right before we jump off here? Any comments, questions? Super Saturday, February 8th, 9th. February 9th, Portsmouth. Hope everybody around here is going. If you're not around here, you're watching this call. Once we post it and you know people in the area, send them, let us know that they're coming, and they'll be welcomed with open arms. It's going to be a great day. What's after that? Are we doing a retreat? All right. We're thinking about a retreat maybe in May or something. We'll let you know if we're going to do that. But that's it, guys. Any questions or comments? It's good to see you all on here. Everybody good? Staying warm? I congratulate 10 times. Lisa wants me to congratulate you again, Lisa. It's worth it. I mean, that's a huge honor, my friend.
Thank you.
Ecstatic.
Really appreciate it.
Ecstatic. Big deal. All right, guys.
Let's make some things happen, huh?
Yes. Get on it. We appreciate every single one of you on here. And if there's anything we can do, like Dave said, bring your leader, bring your mentor, bring your upline, bring your sideline, your downline. If someone, is your guest on there and you need a third party, bring them on. We're always here to do it. I know all of you are ready to work for the team too. So you have someone you want to introduce to the team, bring that third party on for validation and go through that flow chart. I mean, look, it works. So awesome. I think we're done. Are we done? I think we're done. Love you guys. See you.